Hey guys, not too long ago we did an entire professional shoot with just an iPhone as well as a couple of $30 reflectors as a follow-up tribute video to the original FStoppers iPhone fashion shoot. Today we're going to show you guys the actual reflector lighting techniques that we used in that last video to pull off those shots. It's going to be really simple and straightforward. We picked basically the exact same type of scene, which is just a field with harsh 3 p.m. sunlight. So we can kind of show you guys how to deal with the harsh shadows using reflectors. We're going to be using our same beautiful lighting assistant turned model, Yoko. She's going to be our subject for all these shots. And then Jessica's going to help us out on the actual reflector lighting. Now we are going to be doing this today on an actual camera. So we're going to be doing it on a 5D Mark II with a 50mm 1.4 lens as opposed to doing it on our iPhone. So we can show you guys kind of the results from a nice professional camera. But keep in mind that this is really going to look pretty much identical if you're using virtually any DSLR, any decent DSLR with a 50mm prime lens. So don't get too hung up that we're using a 5D. Now, one thing to know about reflectors, they're cheap and they're really powerful lighting tools, but they are constant lights, and that's going to cause a few things. Number one, it's going to cause your subjects to squint when you're using them as hard lights. So you're going to kind of watch out for making your subject look too directly at the actual reflector. Number two, they're very hot. You're bouncing a lot of hard sunlight back into the subject's face, and so it's going to heat them up really quick, and it's going to give them a nice tan if you keep it on them too long. So be sure to take kind of frequent breaks so that your subjects don't get too tired in front of that harsh light. The first technique I want to show you guys is using the reflector as a fill light, and this is very useful when your subject is facing away from the sun or away from your main light, or if they're in the shade. The reflector used as a fill light is going to fill that light back into the shadowy areas of the face and just kind of even out the overall lighting, as well as create a really nice, beautiful catch light, making the eyes pop. Now, one thing to note is because we are in harsh midday sun, we're going to be using a white reflector. If we were in the shade and we need more light, you'd probably want to use a silver reflector to get more light out of it. So how we're going to do this is we're going to have Jessica bring the reflectors up right at Yoko's waist level. And then I'm going to stand right here and I'm going to shoot over the reflector while keeping it out of the frame, so we're not going to see the reflector in the shot. This does mean that the shot needs to be a little bit more close up. So let me show you guys what a before and after of that shot would look like. So Jessica, bring it down. Let's do a before. All right, now bring it up. Perfect. Alright guys, so for this next shot we're going to be shooting with the sun, and because it's still midday sun, it's going to be really harsh, and so we need to use the silver side of the reflector to reflect a lot of light back into the face to be able to fill those hard shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Jessica step over close to Yoko, and then bring the reflector up and reflect light right back into Yoko's face while Yoko's looking towards me. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like before the reflector and then with the reflector as a fill. All right, now bring it up for the fill. Yeah. Step in close and get as much light as you can on her. Perfect. Alright guys, so for this next shot I'm going to show you guys how to put together a simple 2-light scene with just one reflector. Basically what we're going to do is we put Yoko's back to the sun, so we're using the sun basically as a backlight, as a rim light, to kind of light up the edges of her body as well as to give her a hair light. Next we're going to have Jessica step in really close right off the side of Yoko, and she's going to fill hard sunlight into Yoko's face. And again, this needs to be really heavily directional because otherwise it's going to cause our subject to squint really heavily. It's still going to cause Yoko to squint, so we want to make sure that we kind of give her breaks in between. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get low and we're going to shoot from a really low angle. So let me show you guys what the before and after of this shot looks like. Okay, now go with the reflector. Alright guys, this fourth lighting setup is really similar to the last one. We still have Yoko's back facing the sun, and then we're still going to use Jessica's reflector as the hard light, as the main light. But this time, in the last one we had Jessica kind of going from a 45-degree angle from the camera, and this one we're going to have her at a 90-degree angle from the camera. So she's going to be perpendicular to the camera. We're going to have Yoko looking into that light, and it's going to create like a really nice kind of dramatic edge effect on Yoko's profile from that angle. All right, and then perfect. Jessica, step in right there. Nice. All right guys, so for this last setup, we have Yoko laying down in the grass and we're gonna shoot top down on her. And because we have this nasty harsh sunlight hitting the grass as well as all over her face, we're not gonna get a really good shot unless we use a scrim to block the sun, and then we're gonna use the silver reflector to fill the light back in where we want it. So it's gonna create a nice soft look. So let's show you what it looks like in the before and after. So here's the before shot. Perfect. All right. Now Jessica, you step in right above her. Like I'm ambidextrous like this. I can do this with my left hand and shoot with my right. All right, perfect. That's great. Alrighty guys, so there's so many other ways of using reflectors that we haven't shown you in this video, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea of how you can use these cheap little light modifiers to create really great looking professional images. So get out there and try it out.